I'm Maura Kolb, president of Dryden Gold. We have a property in northwestern Ontario. It's 80,000 hectares in a great location with excellent infrastructure and best, very high-grade gold. 53,700 grams per ton, over half a meter high-grade gold.
That's high-grade gold.
Yeah.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good, freezing my butt off is what has
And I think it's warm.
Yeah, but what's the temperature up at site for you guys?
Minus 30 this week in Dryden, so I'm happy to be on this tropical vacation here in Toronto.
At minus 10?
Yeah,
nice.
at minus
Okay.
10.
It's very disconcerting, the whole thing, I'll tell you. So like, the conference is up and flowing. Obviously, people are talking about gold, nothing but gold at the moment. How are things over there?
Oh, it's great. Great energy to see lots of people stopping by and looking at the VG at our booth, and it's exciting.
VG, visible gold.
Yeah, visible
right,
gold.
Okay. Translating for people.
Yes, yes.
So there's a big kind of core shack thing going on over there.
Yes, so we've got a booth today in Core Shack. We are really full on this time. We've grown a lot. We've been growing up.
So, and I always think these things, when you, for many people watching this may have not gone to these sorts of conferences, you go to the Core Shack and sometimes you don't know what you're looking at. But visible gold is a big deal. For some of the generalists who have been attracted to this year's show, that must be quite something for them.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, that can't be gold because it's just, there's so much there.
Yeah.
And you never forget gold. It kind of winks at you. It's a little bit sexier than the other metals, I think.
Okay, possibly.
I'm a little cheeky, sorry.
Yeah. But the other thing is obviously, like, you guys have had a good year last year in terms of some of the numbers that you've been putting out. You also put some out this morning.
Yeah.
What we were looking at there?
Well, this morning's news, I think it's more about what it shows overall for Gold Rock than even just the numbers themselves. So we've been focusing on the Gold Rock target area, which is an area where there are 2 historic mines. It's about 1 kilometer long, 600 meters wide.
Yeah.
Now, originally when we started exploring this 2 years ago, there were only 3 structures that were mineralized. We've grown this thing. The hole we released today shows 15 parallel structures. Okay. And it's not just a one-off. We drilled a hole last year that went through the same intersection 500 meters south of that, also 15 structures. So what I'm excited about most is how much this is filled in. The continuity is looking really good on these structures, and it's just giving us a huge footprint now, a huge amount of targets within the same footprint now.
Right.
So that's what's really exciting, the so what of today's results. The other thing that's cool is that the pierce point was much deeper than anything else we've ever drilled. So we have 2 kind of parallel gold systems in Gold Rock. One is the Elora Shear, which we focused on all of last year, and then the Big Master system, old name. That had only been drilled about 100 meters true depth from surface. Yeah. This hole pierced that at 460 meters. So a lot deeper. And it really shows, it basically doubles that target size and shows that we have potential at depth.
So to come back to these kind of 15 structures and the continuity, et cetera, obviously one would expect things to sort of pinch and swell. So what does continuity mean in this case?
So what I mean by the continuity is that the mineralization, the alteration, these things that geologists always talk about, that is got continuity. Now, we actually have created long sections for each of these structures now. That's kind of in progress, and we'll get it up to our website soon. Yeah. But you see the same pattern of the higher grade in each structure. Yeah. So we're seeing high grade being kind of vertical continuity, and multiple of these kind of almost like towers, essentially, of high grade. Right. And we're seeing that on each of the structures. So it's great to see a pattern, because in high grade gold, you can drill a whole lot, and if you don't understand the pattern early, you will waste a lot of money. And I've seen that a lot in my career. I worked in Red Lake. For those who are new to the story, I spent 8 years there. Very high grade gold there as well. And you have to be very systematic. You have to understand these patterns quickly to make your drill money, really count. Right,
okay. And obviously we're talking about super high grade numbers here. That's sort of caught the eye of everyone early on in the story here. But you're now at that phase where you've got to be getting data, understanding patterns, yes, understanding where you're going to find this high grade, but kind of working towards something, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you what we're working towards. So a lot of people ask me, when are you going to do a resource? Right. And what we're working on this year in 2026 is really to show a path of what we should do a resource on. So at Gold Rock, it is one of our kind of top targets, our flagship, so to speak. There's a 20-kilometer strike which we believe will be like a string of pearls of deposits. So I always use the comparison of Red Lake. Red Lake is made up of 3 mines: the Red Lake mine, the Campbell mine, and the Koshner mine. And you see a repeating pattern if you are to look at those deposits. What we're trying to show at Gold Rock is there are multiple deposits in a string of pearls. Yeah. So last summer we discovered Mud Lake, which looks like the same sort of footprint of what we've been drilling at the Gold Rock target area. And this year we're going to be looking at 2 other anomalies on strike, and I believe we'll find another one of these pearls. That's how you get to multi-million ounces. Right. That's when it gets exciting. That's when we want to start really showing the resource potential. Right now, we're truly a discovery company. That's what we're focused on.
Okay, so is everything going to come through the drill bit this year? Is that what you're saying, or is there more work that needs doing?
It's a bit of both. We
Right.
have 32,000 meters, so a really healthy drill budget, so we can drill test. Funded, yeah,
Okay.
all funded.
Yeah.
So we can test these targets.
Yeah.
But it makes the most sense to do the fundamental early stage work. So we always go to the ground, map it, find the structures so that we can place the drill holes in the best possible place. Even if we're not just using mapping, we have geophysics across the whole property. We just finished a soil program across the entire property, which really gives us a lot of leverage of where to go to find, the next deposit.
Explain to us, because most people kind of eyes roll and go, what does that even mean? Why is it important to you?
My eyes always rolled too until I saw the light. Our
Right.
VP of exploration, that's her background, is geochemistry. So she convinced me to do this, and I really am impressed with the results we got from the soil program. The so what of it, we've been saying we have this hypothesis that the major structures, when they intersect, that'll give you the best high-grade gold chance. Yeah. Well, the soils all line up extremely well along that major structure where it intersects the older D1 structures, but the older structures. Probably the coolest thing about the entire soil campaign, if you look at the map, it's pretty obvious. You see, where the anomalies are, you see colors. The new discovery we made at Henman, that's on the east side of our property, it lights up like a Christmas tree. There are so many anomalies over there. I mean, we've just drilled our first drill program ever on the property, and now we're looking at it with even bigger eyes saying, okay, well, that was one target, but the soil anomalies show us an even bigger footprint. Right. We added another 10,000 hectares to the property on that trend because we were so excited about the results we saw from those soils.
Okay. And also, while we're sort of doing what does that mean thing, with anomalies, right? Again, there's sort of bright colors on a presentation to most people, certainly retail investors.
Absolutely.
And you get excited about certain colors and not others. So with regards to kind of spotting patterns and these anomalies, what's the kind of base case that you're building this off of? So that you're more likely to be successful with the drill bit, because that's the expensive bit.
Yes, absolutely. What's really great with the soils is you'll see over the known deposits or the known occurrences that we know about of gold, we can see that pattern, how many anomalies are there, and then you can start to predict where the next one will be based on a similar soil pattern, a similar type of grade in the anomalies, and we had some very high grade anomalies for soils. Now at Henman, we have a 4-kilometer long granodiorite. Really, that just means it's like granite countertop. It's pretty boring, tombstone kind of rock. Not boring in this case, though, because it's in a really sheared area where the alteration actually gets into that rock. And it creates kind of a competency contrast. So it breaks, and the gold actually falls out into that rock where it's broken. And that gives us 4-kilometer strike. That's what we're testing right now. But the anomalies we saw there also point to more gold in the adjacent shear zone in kind of the typical green rocks that you see so prevalently in Canada.
Right. So you've got a very technical team. You're very technical. You've got a very technical team, very competent, technically competent team. You've got some money at the moment to get after 32,000 meters worth of drilling and a bunch of other work, moving towards some kind of resource. At the point where you kind of put a resource into the market, people are going to have expectations of, well, we've got to put some economics around this type of thing. So are you looking at putting economics around this first resource, or is that the kind of first stepping stone to maybe then doing an updated resource at a further date? How much more explorations to come?
Well, this year is a very important year for us exploration-wise. We're in a phase where it's all about the discoveries. If you look at even the structure, the share structure of the company, we had in our first year, Centerra Gold put in a 9.9% placement. They're a strategic partner. They want to see discoveries be made.
Right.
They are super excited about the soil anomalies we've seen and making new discoveries there. With Gold Rock, with this Henman, first drill program ever, we'll really see this year where we should be putting the energy for, a potential future resource. And one of the reasons I'm hesitant to do a resource too early is you cap the potential.
Yeah.
And I was telling you this, the idea here we have with Gold Rock and the string of pearls, that leads you to a multi-million ounce. So we have to pull that trigger when it actually makes sense, when we've seen enough of a path to, something big. Because, in this market, even though gold's crazy high, still you don't really care until you're at a 3, 5, a bigger
For sure.
million ounce resource.
Yeah, but this is the big, look, you're first time CEO, right? And you've been around and, you understand these things, but you sort of, learning the markets a bit, right? Which is the sort of, it's an interesting place to be because timing of these things, as you say, you can sort of set the stall out and go, people go, oh, well, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm off.
And that makes me nervous because we know that there's so much potential here. So the goal this year is really to show a path. Yeah. And once we kind of see that we've got the big enough footprint, then it's time to go gangbusters, so to speak.
Yeah.
I would like the share price quite a bit higher before we say, let's raise some more money to really drill off our resource here. But I think that's our goal that we're heading towards next year, like to really have something ready to go.
Look, I think there's some great case studies in the marketplace with high-grade projects where people have managed to advance the companies properly, and others perhaps have struggled a bit. So there's lots of learnings to be had. But I think one thing they've all had in common is everyone loves high-grade gold, because it points to a sort of certain type of economics. I expect. I know there's lots of variables, but people do think that, right?
You have to move less material.
Yeah.
And for the same amount of gold. So it is more economic as long as you have a good model. Because there's plenty of cases we could speak about at length where you do it totally wrong. So the technical work up front is extremely important.
Right. And you've said to me from day one, systematic approach. You come from a big company, big company mentality in that sense, but also very, obviously, you know the area extremely well as well. To kind of create the type of information which big companies want to see, as a small junior, it is hard. It's tempting to take some shortcuts here.
Not with our team. I mean, one of the things we're doing that I think really separates us as well is we don't have a corporate office. We really put all of our energy and all of our money into the team. I live in Dryden with the project, with the geologists, so that gives us a bit of an edge, both on the geologic side, on the logistical side, and on the community relations side, because you have to build those relationships. You can have a great deposit in a place where no one will let you build it, but that's not the case here. We've done all of that early prep work to really be able to turn this up when we're ready.
Okay, and there's the one, because retail always asks me, as they say, right, okay, there's lots of little junior, exploration stories out there. How do I differentiate between these guys? Is it the team in your case? Is that the difference?
For me, it's the team. So it's hard as a retail investor, someone who is not a geologist, to tell whether the geology is good. Yeah. But you can smell BS pretty easily, and you have to look for a strong team where geology is really, really important to them, especially in a system that is high grade, because those are the trickier ones. So, I mean, that's my advice whenever retail investors ask me and ask me about other companies. I was like, talk to the team. Do you believe what they're saying? Are they consistent with their approach? Do you think if they, have they fallen in love with their target so much that they're not going to see that it's not economic? Because that's really important. I mean, that's something that I learned early in my career. Yeah. If it's not meeting your economic cutoffs, it's got to be canned. I
think the thing I find interesting about your team is you put money into hiring a technical team rather than an IR person, a PR person, a biz dev person, a markets person, a lawyer, a ex-broker, and all that. People who don't actually add value in the ground, as it were.
And if you're an explorer, the most important thing is making sure your technical team can explore, that your money's all going into the ground. I mean, it's something I'm very proud to say. We've had about 80% of all the funds we've raised has really gone into the ground. You have to pay, the TSX and all these things, but it's really focused on delivery.
And do you find this thing in a market, like I kind of know it's been a very difficult market for the juniors, you know, for the last 10 years, etc. But in a kind of positive gold environment like this, it kind of almost reduces your need to have people chasing money, because money's looking at you, because gold's doing what it's doing. You do have the high grade gold components as well, which gets people a little bit juiced up. So that must be kind of helpful and one less thing to worry about.
Oh, it's definitely a nicer year to be here at PDAC than the two prior. I mean, you can just feel the energy.
Yeah.
Everyone is asking about gold, and if they aren't a shareholder, they're looking at you to be. With other years, it was a little harder to tell the story. You had to kind of catch their attention, and then once they hear our story, though, who doesn't love it?
Who doesn't love it? Who doesn't love visible gold? Well, look, well done on last year. There was a really stellar year for you guys. It was a breakout year for you guys, obviously, and obviously attracting the capital as well was kind of a telltale sign. I'm interested to see what you do in terms of the execution on those 32,000 meters and what indeed you're focusing on. Let's see what you come back with.
Yeah, well, stay tuned.
Good to see you.
Good to
Thank
see you
you.
too.
Cheers.